Joining me tonight is Rev Tech. We got some topics to talk about. We got some things to speak about. Some opinions that may not be liked, but whatever. It is what it is. At the end of the day, it's just an opinion. I hope you guys enjoyed last night's episode. Tonight, it's not going to be as dicey, but it will have some flair to it. So, I'm going to kick off this episode real quick. I want to address a comment by one of my friends. He's a pretty cool kid. He goes by the name Blue Psycho for a reason. He decided to kind of go in on the last episode. I'm going to read to you what he had to say. So this is
can I say this? Sit back and get your seatbelts on.
All right. So this is a comment by the Blue Psycho 11 hours ago, and he's since edited this thing. It says, "You're wrong. Epic Games is bad for PC gaming. What is Epic doing that is good for the gaming industry? Nothing." Now, just to be clear, I didn't say anything good about what Epic is doing. Neither did Rev. Like, neither one of us said we supported this, and neither one of us stated that this was a good thing. Not one thing at all. All we said was that it's bringing more competition to Steam. That's all we said. Did we say it was in a good or a bad light? No. We just said it's just more competition. That's all I said, Blue. Okay, so the other.
Well, can I respond to that real quick?
Yeah, go for it.
I'm on either side of that. On that side, I pretty much said last night with Brimstone. I agreed with, because me and Brimstone off air have been talking about this for like a while, since the start. Me and him both, and we both are on the same side. Like we don't care. At the end of the day, this was gonna happen no matter what anybody said anything. You know, opinions are opinions. You know, we don't know what these companies are thinking of. You know, when they do it. You know, so at the end of the day, I'm neutral to it all, and like I said, I agree with Brimstone. So that's all I really gotta say.
Okay, and so I'm gonna go ahead and read the edited part again. On the second part, there's like a two-parter here. It says on the edit, "I'm pirating Outer Worlds and Borderlands 3. I'm not paying for it. Fuck the developers. If they want to fuck over PC gaming with a launcher that is like a PS4 or Xbox store, that's anti-consumer. Nope. Fuck you. Maybe that's why you like Epic Games. It like console garbage." Now, I never said I liked Epic Games, did I? You're just drawing your own parallels, Blue, like you normally do. I don't get mad at Blue when he leaves comments on my videos like this, because like I know he comes from a place of passion. Like he feels very strongly about things. And me and him have talked in person, so I know this isn't personal. You know what I mean? Like, he's a good kid. I've known him for a while now. He's been supporting the Game Talk, and I think he just unfollowed us or whatever out of anger. I don't know. But it's all good. Blue, you're my boy. Calm down. You're good.
I'll say this. Can I respond to that? Like, don't pirate games, man. I'm all for. I get the anger there. I get you. I respect that. I respect everything you said. I'm not on Epic Game. I'm on nobody's side. Me and Brimstone are on nobody's side. What we were basically saying last night was, look, you either gonna buy the game and just go with it, or are you just gonna hold out and vote with your wallet? That's pretty much what we basically were saying.
Yeah. We
weren't trying to take gripes in anybody. I had a chance to listen to it back. And look, honestly, at the end of the day, all I said was, look, pick a side and go with it. You know, for me, I just go where my friends go, and
yeah,
I'm not trying to, I'm not trying to say, oh, you need to go here or there. Do what you want to do. Everybody has their right, you know.
Yep.
At the end of the day, and I respect everybody, and that's the thing. I respect the comment.
And the point that I was trying to make last night, Blue, if you were even paying attention to what I was saying, or you were just like infurious listening, all I was saying is if PC gamers were willing to support Steam's exclusives and Origin's exclusives, which guess what, they offer the same exact practices that you hate. That was my point. If you listened, you would have known that I never said once that the Epic thing was going on was a positive thing. We never said that. All we said was the only thing it's doing is bringing more competition. That's all we were saying. But
I just said basically what we were saying, it was just more competition out there and more places to get games.
Right,
basically
exactly,
what we were saying.
Absolutely. All right. So with that cleared up, Blue, I hope you come back and watch us. If not, it's all good.
Come back to me, baby.
Baby, come back. I'll give it all to you.
To you.
All right. So tonight's first topic. What did you want to talk about, Rev? I know you said something about you wanted to.
I'll let you pick the first one.
Well, I have a bit of a beef with Samsung, so let's go ahead and drag them through the fucking mud. All right. So Samsung, the $2,000. Yeah, I'm keeping the fucking ad blocker on. Fuck you, CNBC. Samsung doesn't know when its $2,000 folding phone will be fixed and will automatically cancel orders. Okay, so does anybody remember Sony's PS Vita? This is the Sony PS Vita, but a little bit more money. And way more faulty. But still the same concept. Like, this is something that Samsung put out there and more than likely will not support after it's not going to any longer support it. Like, they've already canceled orders, it looks like. $2,000 for a phone that can break easily if you lift the film off, which is part of the screen. I'm sorry. This is just not something I prefer or would ever think about supporting. I would never buy this. This is the most ridiculous shit ever. Like, who's going to release a $2,000 phone with a pill-up phone, like a film that can easily be pulled up, and then when you slightly move it, it fucks up the entire display? I mean, come on. Really? $2,000 Samsung? And this is the best you got? Yeah, I'm totally going out and buying a Samsung S10 now. Oh, yeah, totally.
I'll say this. Samsung did not put a warning on their phones.
No, they did not.
They kind of dropped the ball. And I get why Xiaomi, I get why Huawei, I get why a lot of these other companies that are releasing foldable phones are literally delaying their phones. And I get why, because they see this, why, they're all holding back, and Samsung wanted to be the first person at the table. Now, I like the concept. Don't get me wrong. I think it's a cool concept and on paper. Cool.
Yeah.
I love it. It's too early. I think we're too early, and I think Samsung just wanted to rush out something to say they were the first person at the table and say they did it. And the problem with that is their concepts and ideas were cool, but you're asking for a high price from people, and they should have came out and said, hey, there's a screen protector on this thing. The reason why we did it, because we realized no other company can make a screen protector for our phone. And we had to do something to keep the phone protected, from scratching and damages. And they didn't. They dropped the ball, and now they're paying the price. And that's just the way it is.
$2,000 to charge to make money off this. I want you to imagine it. Like, how much do they have to spend on the research for this alone if they're charging $2,000 per phone? Like, that is insane to me. And welcome, Piseth Peeve, to the stream. And yes, you are first.
I will also say this about Samsung. Their phones have been exploding. Lately, their S10s and their new phones have been exploding. You can look that up on the internet.
They're going through that again?
Yep. Like somebody filed a lawsuit. I think somebody filed a lawsuit on Samsung for the S10 exploding in their pants.
Here, let me find out for you. Let me go to Google. All right, you said S10s are exploding? All right.
Yeah.
S10. Replace the battery on a Samsung S10. Oh, it's on CNET. Samsung S10 5G exploded with a serious injury. Wow. Damn.
I figured that's what was happening. Yeah, I was seeing that earlier
it's on
a couple days
some
ago.
site called Pro Pakistani, and it's showing it exploding pictures.
They're saying the display or the battery expanded and then it heated up and exploded randomly.
Wow, that's fucking crazy. Insane.
And this is why don't buy Samsung products. I can't justify. They're asking way too much of a price, and this goes along with our point. I mean,
How much are they? How
you
much are they charging for an exploding phone these days?
about 1,200.
Oh God, $1,200 to burn my lap. No, thank you.
Oh, I'm okay. I'll stick to my Apple.
Same.
I'm like terrified. Like every time I talk about going outside of Apple, like I look at this and I just go, "Wow,
Thanks, but no
Samsung,
thanks.
thanks but no thanks." And I'm just like, the only, and we talked about this after the show last night. We were saying the OnePlus 7 would be the phone that I would purchase.
Bro, that OnePlus though.
Looks
The
really
OnePlus
nice.
7. Like seriously, like the jokes on the 6 were funny, right? When they flipped the speaker by accident. Remember that? Yeah, that was pretty funny. But OnePlus 7 though, dude, like it looks really good. Like if
They
I was
dunked
to
it
ever
in,
if I was to ever go back to Android, I told Rev this last night. If I was to ever go back to Android ever again, it'd be to the OnePlus or the Xiaomi line. That is it. That's the only two. That's the only two Android phones that are worth buying to me, in my opinion.
Well, the OnePlus 7, they during the Google I/O event, they put out a video taking a rip out of Google and talking about their phones not IP certified, and they dunked it in water and kept it in there for like a long period. And they showed off and they pulled it out with an earphone jack and all, and with no earphone jack, and they were like, "Our phone still works." And they've been taking rips at companies. It's crazy. I was like,
That
man,
that is some damn good marketing. I can support that. That is funny.
they said it. They went, here's what you guys have been clamoring for it. We've dunked it. They put it in a glass of water, submerged in it, and they were like, they had like a timer on it, and then they went, "Oh, our phone still works. You're good." I was like, wow. Here, I'll get you a OnePlus 7 here.
I found something that caught my eye, and this looks sexy as shit. The Meizu Zero takes phone trends to the natural conclusion of no ports or buttons. Look at that phone, dude. Tell me that doesn't look sexy. Damn, I've heard of Meizu too. Like I've actually almost.
That
bought
looks really cool. That's as
Right?
close as you're gonna get to a screenless phone.
This Meizu looks so good. I've heard of Meizu. I've looked into Meizu. I almost bought me a Meizu phone back in the day, like before I got my Apple. Like I was very close to pulling the trigger on it because at the time they had a phone like this prior to this that was like $200. I almost bought it.
Here's a link for you, by the way, of all the specs and everything for the OnePlus 7.
Sweet deal.
But keep in mind, guys, when Brim shows this is all rumored specs, so keep this in mind. It may change by the time it comes out.
You have it. Let me see. Oh God. Let's see. Okay, I see it now. It's under the GSM Arena stuff, right? Okay.
Yeah. It's a beautiful looking phone.
Oh,
I'm like,
that is pretty.
I was like, it comes in like multi different colors, and it has a small little bezel on it. It's nice.
Check out that pixel ratio: 1080p by 2340 pixels.
A 48 megapixel camera. I've never seen a 48
Gorilla
megapixel
Glass
camera on
6.
it.
128 gigabyte fucking SD card with 6 gigs of RAM. Jesus.
And keep this in mind, it's a 90
Dude,
hertz
it's got
refresh
HDR
rate
on it.
with 90 hertz out the gate on the screen. That's nice.
Oh, look at this. This is what I would use it for too. Vlogging camera, dude. 2160p at 60 frames per second. Oh my god.
And guess what? They're hitting you with the gigs, 128 gigs starting. I'm like, yes. Like that's how phones should be, and it's coming in at $700. I can't complain for that price.
Dude, the
it's
milliamps.
giving you everything.
The guy is right. The milliamps, 4150 milliamp battery. Jesus Christ. This is a sexy ass phone though. Like honestly. 6
Like
gigs of RAM.
outside of Apple, this would be it. For me, this would be it. Oxygen OS, you can root it if you choose to.
Ah, fuck that. Why would I want to do that? I actually like the OnePlus OS, dude, a lot. So to me,
Now
that would be a good
keep in
deal.
mind keep this in mind. OnePlus did get rid of the earphone jack. Keep that in mind.
I have those Bluetooth Logitechs. Well, I call them Logitechs because they technically are, but they're the Skull Candy, big huge Bluetooth cans.
And in the front, they have a gyroscope and a oh my god, that's the a la carte right there for $700. Good on OnePlus for what they're doing.
Wait, this is $700? That's it?
$700 retail. That's what they're talking.
And that's not even including if you go to like AliExpress or any of the other gateway sites and get it for like $400. So,
actually, they actually said that they're going to be offering like trade-in credit for it. If you trade in your phone for it, they're going to have trade-in credit for it on their site and whatnot.
I wonder if so I don't know if you know about this yet, but like Honor phones have been offered now through our carriers here in the US. I wonder if OnePlus is going to get in on that.
OnePlus said their phones are going to be offered at T-Mobile and a bunch of carriers. They did state that.
Yes, dude. Yes.
And finally, a feature that I've been waiting for on their phones: quick wireless charging. About time. That
yes.
for $700, you got me in the door.
All right. So what does the Pro version offer versus this version? Anything? Like
I had not seen the Pro version at all.
Right
the
here.
OnePlus 7 Pro.
OnePlus 7 Pro. Yeah. Let's look at it.
Comes with a 6.6 inch screen.
So it's a bigger screen.
10 gigs of RAM on a phone. I'd never seen the day of that. Jesus.
But you know what though? Like the battery's less.
That's true. And
yeah.
So you're compromising. You're getting 10 gigs of RAM over battery life
But
and a bigger screen.
Though, you're getting an independent Adreno. Like, I think ours aren't independent GPUs, are they? No, I don't think
they are.
They are? Okay.
Yeah. Apple and their processors have independent GPUs, and they have cores for each.
Plus, you're getting a better screen resolution. So instead of the 1080, you're getting the 1440 by 3120.
Now, keep this in mind, guys. It's getting really tempting in the mid-range smartphone market.
Sorry,
I'm going to tell you guys.
Hold on. Hold that thought. HDR10 Plus at 90 hertz, dude. All right, Go ahead. Now you can.
That actually, this is the phone they're going to go with the better batteries. So these rumors.
256 gigabyte internal.
Yep, that is the phone they were talking about. Yep, that's the one they're advertising on their website. This one here.
Awesome, by the way.
90 hertz on a screen, dude. That's a fantastic deal. For $700, if they're coming in at $700, they did state that they had to up the price. They did state that. They said they usually go for $600, but this phone they wanted it to blow the pants off of everybody.
I'm trying to figure out what this guy is talking about. He says, "I feel the OnePlus is so behind cheaping out on cameras. Their 7 Pro triple camera setup is mid-range at best, and not even talking about 7, which will not even be going to have wide lens." Like, what?
Bruh, I'll say this.
This is better than what fucking Samsung is doing currently, isn't it?
$700. You can't complain for $700. Now, they could have charged for the same specs here. They're doing current specs. They could have charged $1,200 for this phone.
I'm gonna go
they
check
did.
Out Xiaomi
they didn't.
On it.
But getting back to Samsung, guys, I'll say this: that's unacceptable to me at $1,200. They shouldn't be exploding and lighting on fire.
No way. Yeah, I agree.
I mean, you're buying a phone. I get there's warranties. I get that. And I get you buy insurance. But honestly, outside of Apple's insurance with Apple Care Plus,
yeah,
that's Shurion or Squarespace or Square Trade, and that's ridiculous in itself because a lot of those insurance programs make you pay a deductible anyway. So if your phone blows up, you're really kind of screwed.
This isn't a bad little phone either. The Xiaomi Redmi.
Xiaomi, I'm gonna say this. Xiaomi, like in the mid-range space, I'm gonna say this. It's getting interesting in the mid-range space. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's really getting interesting for phones. And I've seen that. I've actually seen that phone on YouTube being reviewed, and I heard nothing but good things about it. And I've heard it's got a IR blaster on it.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. All right, now I'm gonna go look at my next favorite brand that is actually pretty good. Is the Motorola.
Motorola's coming out with the Razr.
Motorola's relaunching the Razr line. Yep.
I'm excited for it.
Oof. God damn it! I don't know why I'm even on this site. I can't afford any of this right now. Jeez, I'm gonna click.
And I posted an article about that to you about the Razr.
shit. I didn't see this. We got Xbox news, fellas. Gameloft and Microsoft to bring Asphalt 9 and other games to Xbox Live on mobile. I don't really see the point in this, really, but honestly, this is actually kind of cool. I've never played any of the Asphalt games. Ever. I have never played them. Are they any
They're
good?
making exclusive moves. You know, Microsoft has been really quiet, and they've been making some moves. They bought Obsidian Studios, and now they're buying mobile game studios
But
out.
is
It's
the
smart.
game good, though? Like, is Asphalt good? Have you played Asphalt? I think you have, haven't you?
Yes, I have played Asphalt. Asphalt, mobile-wise, is one of the best racing games you can get. Like, they are the gold standard right now. It's everything else.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Microsoft tried to make a clone. It's called Forza Street. It's terrible.
That's ass.
I told Brimstone straight up, man, he should literally go play it and make an opinion for himself. Let's see.
And Legends Asphalt 8. Dragon Mania Legends will be coming. I played that, actually. Dragon Mania Legends is kind of fun. Players will be able to access the standard features such as Xbox Achievements, Friends List, and compare their rankings with leaderboards. Okay, so I kind of like that. I do. Okay, so ever since, like, the Windows Vista / Windows Marketplace fiasco, you remember those aids, right? Like, those were terrible, right? That was fucking horseshit. They have come a long ways with that. Like, I like being able to log into my Xbox from my PC just to see what people are up to, message them and shit. It is so much better versus where it was before. Not saying that they can't use a little bit more finesse. People are still getting the login errors, but it is still a hell of a lot better than where it was, and that's saying a lot because they've been trying to fix it. They have been having issues with certain parts of their services, like they've been for like the last 20 years now. I mean, it's never going to be a perfect service, but for what we get, it's pretty damn good. So
yeah, I agree with you there. I totally agree with you.
Oh God, so Blue, you're not gonna like this topic. Tim Sweeney, Epic Games now loves Microsoft and is thrilled about everything they are doing. Oh God, please no, please no. So Sweeney's talking about the universal part of Windows platform, right? The UWP. Like, okay, cool. I hope that's all he's doing. I hope that's all he's doing. Please don't buy Halo. Please don't buy Halo. Please don't buy Forza. Don't you dare fucking touch Gears, God damn it. Wait, actually, hold on. That's already happening. God damn it.
I will say, here's the foldable phone for the Razer.
Son of a bitch.
I will say this, and I'm gonna be neutral about it here. I told Brimstone before we went on the air, I'm gonna make a prediction, and I may be wrong, so take this as what it is. I wouldn't be surprised if they swerved us and Halo swapped from Steam to Epic.
Man. I hope they don't.
I hope not that happens, but you know, I've been freaking surprised before. And I'd be like, I would be really shocked. I wouldn't be shocked. I wouldn't be surprised. That swerve, you know, if they gave Microsoft a bunch of money like they've been giving developers and did it like that.
Yeah.
Now, Blue, if you watch this, I just want you to know I'm not on either side of that board. I don't like exclusives myself. But it's big business and it's been happening for 3 decades, buddy. I don't want you to think that I'm on the Epic Games side. I'm not. I don't agree with the standpoint, but I wouldn't be surprised if they did the swerve and Valve responds by doing exclusives as well. I wouldn't be surprised. I just wouldn't be surprised. A lot of these launchers are going to start doing exclusive things. And I told you did I say that last night? It's going to be the generation of exclusives on what platform you're going to get for PC. And I am shocked by that, honestly.
It's not like we wanted that fucking shit to happen. I didn't want that to happen. I would just try to get to people to understand that if you're going to stand for something, fucking stand for something. Don't stand for something because it only inconveniences you, right? Like, to stand for fucking against shit that affects everybody equally. Don't just all of a sudden be like, oh yeah, I'm against this all of a sudden, right? Like, that's all I was trying to say. Let's talk about
that's basically what I was saying too.
Yeah.
I agree with you there.
Yeah, totally. Let's go ahead and bring up that fucking Razer phone, dude. That Motorola Razer phone looks sick. Oh, wait a second. Hold on. I think I just saw something I don't like. I wish I could stop that image. Okay, so do you see it, Rev, right there?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
The little ribbon, right as a fold. Let's see if I can bring it up a little bit more. That looks like a little, like right where the mouse is. You see that?
Yep, I do. But keep in mind,
That
they
worries
said this.
me.
They said that's a concept. They said this is all concept right now.
Okay.
So this may be
As long as
subject
it's
to
only
change.
concept, bro. As long as it's only concept, because that's
What you're seeing is a 3D schematic of the cab file. That's what they're showing here.
ooh.
What it's gonna possibly look like.
So, yeah, this is no way gonna be $1,500. There's no fucking way Motorola would be that stupid.
Well, Motorola is owned by Lenovo now. I wouldn't be surprised if they went that luxury.
But
Because
it's not
honestly,
even, it's not even like a spec to performance phone, though. You know what I mean?
well, yeah, Lenovo, from what I've been hearing, Motorola's not been making expensive phones. They've been making more the mid-range side of things, like working on the Android One market with the $200 phone they have. So I'd be really shocked if they came out with a foldable phone at $1,200.
Especially one that's like, it says the screen resolution is like unknown, but the cover screen right now is the way, like, you know, theory is 800 by 600. There's no way that shit's gonna be 800 by 600 on an OLED. Like, no fucking way, dude.
They said a 6.2 inch 2140 by 876 OLED panel when it's unfolded. It is to me. I'll say this, to me, foldable phones, I get it. I like the concept. I think it's cool that they're doing a tablet hybrid. That's cool, but I think it's too early. I think it's too early for all these companies. The only company I saw that I thought was really cool was a Huawei and Xiaomi. Those are the two that I went, oh, okay. Now that looks like a foldable phone to me. How they have it, and they have the hinge all embedded. It works. This looks like debris will get in the middle of that crease, like you were saying, and then cause problems.
So I'm gonna look into the Google Pixel 3a. Let's do this.
I put a link for you.
Oh, did you? Here, I'll just do that.
Yeah.
Is it the same
Everything's
as this
all
or
in the
no?
link. No, it's another one. It's made by Android Central.
Good, because I like their site better, anyways. Where did you put it at? Did you put it up higher?
I put it in Discord for you.
I know
It's
you
right
did.
next to it's underneath the asphalt one.
Oh. Oh, okay. Let's see it.
So this is everything you need to know about the Google Pixel 3a. I watched the event this morning or afternoon. Like, they did it at an amphitheater, what it looked like. And it looked to me like San Diego, or it could have been... I'm going to say this. I think the phone's ugly. I'm gonna put it there. It looks ugly to me.
I like that they went with a 670. They didn't go down lower. I'm happy about that. The 3700 milliamp, I think that could be way better for how much resources these things use. I remember the first and second Pixel phones used a lot of resources pretty fast because of all the fucking crazy amount of hardware they put in for the camera. I mean, you're talking about a phone that literally was rated the best camera of its time. So, I mean, and that was outshining both the Apple phones and the Samsung phones alike. So, I was hoping that they would do something about that and give us a bigger battery, but I mean, I guess I can't be too fucking picky. I don't understand this part though. Like, so the 12.2 single rear camera, is that actually going to be good for the megapixel for this? Like, are they using the same thing that HTC was using, the
Well,
Ultra
at the
Pixel?
event, it was very shady to me how they showed off an iPhone X phone taking a picture and their phone taking it, and I kind of laughed because it was like a $399 phone doesn't just outshine a $1,200 phone. Like there's some working they did on the images there. Like,
But honestly though, when they took the picture, did it look good?
they made the iPhone picture look darker.
Oh, okay.
And I said in the chat in the live stream, the CNET chat that they were doing for the Google I/O event, I said, and I'll say it here, it looks a little fishy to me, like Google did some like trickery to make their phone look better. And they've always done that.
Yeah.
Google's known for it. The one thing in the event that I will say that goes alongside this phone, they are finally taking security serious. They are finally getting with the times and locking down their platform.
Yeah.
I told people this, they're going to be locking it down. You think Apple, you may not like Apple because of it, but Android's starting to do it.
Right.
And they're doing it hardcore. And they're starting to take pages from Apple's book. Like when somebody calls you now, you could send a text saying, I'll reach back to you later. They're working with AI a lot. A lot of the event was about AI. And I like some of the stuff they showed about AI. Like, you know, if you're in a meeting or like, let's say you're at, you know, you can't have a lot of noise around you. You can turn on their, caption mode that doesn't take up any internet, doesn't need any internet. It does it on the fly for you. I thought that was cool because sometimes I'm in places where I can't, you know, have my iPhone being blasting so loud.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
that's a good feature. The one thing I didn't understand, and me and you have been back and forth about this, we would be on Android if the both sides were unified. And the phones
Android,
and the tablets.
Yeah. If Android, so here's the thing here's my problem with Android right now, right? Like, they have usually the higher milliampage on their batteries versus iPhone, right? And you would think that would be a great thing, that like these phones would outlast my iPhone as far as being on. It doesn't. It lasts like a fraction of the time, and it's so fucking annoying, dude. Like, I hate that more than anything. When I was on Android, right, when I had my S8 and my S7 and my S6, like, dude, the fucking thing would be off. Like, there would be no screen time on, right? It would be sitting in my locker. I'd go back to it, and this is from a full charge from going home after 8 hours. It'd be down to like 20%. I'm like, what?
Now
the fuck?
keep this in mind. What I like what Android did, but Apple's going to be doing this with iOS 13, the next iteration.
Right.
Is dark mode. I thought that was phenomenally cool. Finally, we're getting a dark mode because some of us don't like. I sometimes don't like my phone being too bright. So it's great they're doing a dark mode. I'm happy about that. Apps are going to take advantage of it going forward.
I like the simple design. Since when I first started experiencing my Apple phone, I'm really appreciating the simple design. Like, I could care less if it's super elongated or if it's got extra design features on the sides. Like, I don't care about that shit. Like, I like the simple, sleek, lightweight design.
So you would be more on the Pixel side and the OnePlus side because it's simplistic. It just works.
No, OnePlus is simple in design too. That's the thing. Like the OnePlus.
Well,
7,
that's what I was
Yeah.
saying. You would probably have a Pixel or along the range of a OnePlus 7.
Because you're right about one thing. I'll give you, like, you're 100% right on this. This is a $400 phone, right? $399,
Yeah.
and you're getting a lot of shit for it. So that is actually a good deal.
So $399 for the 3A, and then it's like $100 more or $200 more.
It's
for the
$100
XL
more
version?
for the XL version, yeah. So $499 still isn't bad.
I mean, for a mid-range phone, and I get why Google did this because they had to compete with the XR. They had to bring something out that competed with all these mid-range phones, and it reminds me, and I'll say this phone reminds me so much of the LG 5A. The 5A, I told you this off air. This reminds me so much of those times because when I had that phone, I didn't care about the price. I mean, I didn't really care. The price was good. They had decent specs, decent camera, decent screen, and it got the job done.
Right.
Now, this phone does not have wireless charging. Some of the features I like, but when you're buying $399 to $499, who cares? I mean, really, who cares? As long as it has fast charging, that's all it is.
If you want to spend $399 on a phone and get all those features, just go get a 7 Plus.
Or better yet, just go buy the iPhone SE like I've been telling people for a while.
Yeah, the
Just go buy
SE is a good
they,
deal. Hell yeah.
they just dropped it again down to $200.
Dude, every time they drop that shit, I try to go to buy it. It's always sold out. All the time. Always sold out.
Yeah.
So I just stick into my 7 Plus. I love
Well,
my
people
7
were
Plus.
taking rips about, you know, and when the launched the event, they were taking rips at the XR. How can the XR have a small? You guys got to remember, Apple makes premium phones. They're never ever gonna put plastic on their phone. They're never gonna do it. They're gonna put metals, glass. Apple's never gonna get down to that level.
Well, they did there for a while. Like the 5C was plastic. Remember?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Never mind. Take that
5C,
back.
The 5C, those were plastic, but still, you were still spending only the same price as this Google phone was, right? It was like $399 for those back then.
Back then it was like 5.
Oh, 5.
It wasn't
okay.
too bad. It wasn't too bad.
Yeah, like, but still, like, those were plastic, and even with the plastics, like, it did pretty fucking good. All my in-laws had one. We fucking loved it. They
Now,
loved their phone.
who's this phone for? It's for somebody that wants to go out and not spend top dollar and just say they have a high end.
Or if it's for like an Apple dedicated person that's never been on Android before, and they have a few $100 to spare and they want to try it out. There you go. There's a good way to start.
And what we were talking about software, that is Android Q, Quantum, I think they're calling it, and it's their new iteration of Android. It's gonna have AI. It's gonna have face unlock. They said it's in beta at the moment, but when the phones come out, they'll be out of beta. I like what they're doing with it. They're locking it down. About time. 5 years. Took them 5 years to come to that point.
Yeah.
After being sued and taken to the EU clinic, and losing billions of dollars, yeah, they had to lock down their platform.
I will say this: their Quantum Google is trash. So I hope this is better.
Well, they need to come, and this is the next thing I hope Google does. They need to unify or clarify how tablets and their phones talk to each other. Because when you go on any tablet out there, like a Samsung, Xiaomi, or whatever, a lot of the apps don't work. They're blown up phone apps. And the problem is they need to really unify. Or I said this in the chat in the live streams. I said, look, why don't they do the Microsoft thing and just have stock Android on everything? Force the company's hands to do stock Android, no skins over it.
Yeah.
And make everything unified. And give you know how Microsoft does with Windows 10, if you go to their website, how they have a recommended specs that companies have to follow? They should do the same. Because they have so many manufacturers making phones.
Yeah.
They should at this point. And that would stop the whole security problems. That would stop all the malware and all the problems, and everything gets updated all at once instead of wait half a year for Samsung to catch up, or Sony, or whatever company makes Android phone. Just be better. I would be on Android if it wasn't for two things. One, the unification between the tablets and phones. We've been talking about this. And the software itself. I just don't like a skin on top of things. Like, OnePlus is as close as you're going to, and Xiaomi is as close as you're going to get to stock Android. As close as you're going to get.
That's all I want, really, is stock Android. Fuck everything else, dude. Like, I hate the fucking Nougat. I didn't care for fucking Oreo. Like, I hate all those, dude. Like, they are fucking trash. Like, they kill your battery so fucking fast for doing nothing. It's not even, there's no point to it. It's like, why even bother, really?
Well, here's the other thing that I didn't understand. And I've been talking to you for a while about this. With this, they talk so much about 5G.
Oh,
All they said was throughout the event. And these phones don't even run 5G. They talked about how they're partnering up with Verizon, how they're going to be with T-Mobile and all these companies. And they said 5G is going to be a thing. Foldable phones is going to be a thing. I didn't see one talk when they showed off the phone about 5G.
Yeah.
Like, I was expecting, since they were hyping it up like the next thing better than sliced bread, I was surprised. They went, oh, it's going to be 4G LTE, guys. And I was like, oh, wow, okay. All right, cool. I guess. Cool.
You're like, whatevs.
Thanks for overselling 5G like it was the best thing since sliced bread. And the only phone right now that runs 5G is the Samsung S10 5G edition.
Yeah.
And that's getting released here in the next 2 weeks, which looks pretty, but I won't buy a Samsung phone because they explode, and I just don't want to take the risk of buying their phone and overheating and start exploding.
All right, you want to move on to the next topic? With Brian Crescente. Riot Games employees. What the shit? Come on, skip the ad. Let's go. Riot Games employees walk out in protest of treatment by company. I wonder why. If I remember correctly, they were ran by SJWs, if I remember correctly, and they were treating people with massive disrespect.
They said the equality between women that work there and men work there has been equally bad. And they said like 100 employees. Like the whole situation makes no sense to me. Like they walked out. And then now Riot Games is trying to work with them, and then they're not working with them. It just makes no sense. Like, I see a lawsuit coming, and these employees will get their pay because of how bad the environment is.
So my childhood best friend, like me and him go back from like grade school. Okay, his in-law, his sister's husband, is ex-military. And he worked in intelligence. So after he got out of the military, he put his app out in his resume as to what he did, and Riot picked him up. So he works for Riot remotely out of Kingman, Arizona, or Phoenix, Arizona, one of the two. And he said that like it is so bad that he's looking at switching over to Epic Games because the pay is better, and the insurance is better, and the overall compensation that you get for working with them is way better than what Riot's doing. So,
and I'm surprised Tencent Games that owns Riot is not going in and trying to make things right.
They're Chinese. I don't think they would want to.
They should.
They should,
because
absolutely.
You know who this hurts. It hurts the gamer.
It does, and it hurts the community because the League of Legends community is amongst some of the oldest gaming communities out there. Like, they've been around for fucking years, dude. I remember when I was living in Nevada and I had my apartment over there when I first met you and Shane and Nate. I remember when we were talking about this game when it was in beta, dude. Like, the shit is 2009. That old. The shit is that old, and it's like, out of all of that, like, all the billions of dollars that this company's made, and they were going through this kind of like stupidity. Like, come on, like how hard is it to respect the women's, dude? Like, you just come into work, do your fucking job, and
respect the employees that make you the money. How hard is it to pay them and treat them right?
Right? Yeah, exactly. Right.
Because this kind of stuff, what happens is the company, people just start walking out. People see other people walking out. What happens is companies fold because of this kind of stuff.
Dude, they fold. They lose their communities. Like, it's ridiculous, bro. Like, how the fuck?
I mean, Riot's been around. They've made so many different games. But my thing is, like, they need to get their acts together real quick, real fast. They need to make a deal with all these people and just pay them and treat them right. And may have new policies.
But also, and I'm not trying to blame China for this, all right? But, like, Tencent is a Chinese corporation, right? In China, having a woman as a baby or having a baby girl is frowned upon. Like, I'm not saying that to be hurtful. Like, it is literally in their fucking culture over there. Japan was like that all the way up until like the early 2000s, and then they just sort of like stopped that shit. But China, like, men are more favored over there than women. And it shows in their hierarchy and how things are done over there. So something had to have happened with Tencent. Like, I feel like that's probably why Tencent isn't stepping in and saying shit, because of this. Like, they're probably like okay with it. You know what I mean? I mean, that sounds fucked up, but like, seriously, if anybody watches this, go look up the Chinese fucking government and how they view women. It's pretty hard. It's pretty harsh shit to look at, dude. Their human rights doctrine is like, it's disgusting. Like, they actually don't care about their people. Like, it's pretty bad.
I mean, all I got to say here is they need to pay their employees and get some policies in place that actually respect their employees.
Yep.
I'm just saying. And Riot's a huge company and they can afford it. I don't understand. What is it going to take, a lawsuit by their employees?
Yeah.
I mean, at this point, Foxconn had to kind of go through that, you know, with the developing of products, and Apple kind of, because of it, they pulled out, and now they've made their own plant in India because of it. You know, they pulled out from the whole Foxconn thing, and they're doing it in India now.
Well, yeah, because the
because
shit that happened in they had like anti-suicide nets around the top of their building and shit. Remember?
yep, yep.
Fucking forcing people into like slave-like conditions. Like, what the fuck? Like, well, because you live here, we're gonna expect you to work for like 24 hours straight. Like, what?
That's terrible.
And paying them.
And
shit.
I don't condone this kind of shit either. That Foxconn shit and this shit, I don't respect that.
No,
That's
hell no.
ridiculous.
Hell yeah, it's fucked up. Like they weren't allowed to leave their fucking dormitories either. Like their food and their drinks and everything was served to them there, and they weren't allowed to leave. Like because they were afraid that their people were just gonna quit. So they had to make it to where if you left, you weren't gonna get paid. And so like all of your college tuition was gonna go onto your bad credit. And in China, if you have bad credit, it actually affects the way you live, like in a very big way, like a massive way, all the way down to the way you live. Like you can't afford, or they won't let you afford to live in a nice apartment or a nice house. Like if you have a shit credit, you're gonna get shit dormitories, and that's just the way it is. That's something that like I guess our Senate on the Democratic side is trying to get pushed on over here. Oh fuck! I hope that doesn't happen.
Do we want to wrap it up the show with talking about AMD news?
Yeah, but first, before we hit the AMD news, because I know. Oh yeah, wait. Before I say anything else about that, do you already have the article for that? I think you do.
I sent them all to you.
Yeah, you have the rumor. Okay, I have them right here. So before we get into the last topic of the night, you guys, we're gonna talk about possible future endeavors. I'm possibly gonna be like, for those of you that have watched the Game Talk, you guys remember we used to have the squares on the actual video. So I'm thinking about bringing those back, but instead of the pictures or our cartoon avatars that you guys were so lovingly kind enough to make for us, I am gonna be doing we're gonna be doing cameras. So let me know what you guys think about that. You guys think that's a good idea to bring back that old format, to bring the squares back and then have like a square for where the articles are going to be? Let us know down in the comments below. Let us know what you think of that idea, and that would be great. And there's gonna be different things too. Like on top of that, I'm thinking about actually editing some transitions for this. So every time we switch to a new article, it'll transition into like a special effect kind of thing. And then I'm also gonna like have this sort of setup where it's like a traditional radio show. Like I want to have it like, you know, funny ass like sayings from other YouTubers playing in the background, and you know, Game Talk, and like I want it to like actually feel like a radio show. So I'm looking at doing traditional stuff too.
So since you're talking about that, are you gonna have it available maybe after the fact, or maybe I'll help you with that, where we can put it up on?
Oh, we'll go back and forth and figure out what works and what doesn't.
Like a podcasting site where we can just throw it up so people can listen to it.
Well,
like all together.
Our community has been sort of wondering about that. Like they've been thinking, you know, Apple, why not try the Apple Store and then stuff like that? But like, I don't think we have enough viewership for that. So my idea is to link all the old episodes, because I know they would have the viewership for it to be approved. Because there are episodes over there on my other channel that are like 30,000 views and shit, so.
What you could do is just throw it on SoundCloud. Boom, SoundCloud, and you can get the app and just start listening.
But as far as SoundCloud goes, though, like how much do you have to spend a month to get unlimited uploads? Because I know you're limited.
I think you're limited to a certain amount of uploads per month.
Yeah, see, we have a shit ton of episodes.
Well, what you could honestly do is just start from now to, you could start right now if you wanted to. We could from the start. You know what I mean? Just start out as, you know, hey, we're launching over here now. So our new episodes going forward will be as well on this, you know. We'll talk about it.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
There's so much stuff, because I know some people that has asked me, because I was promoting it around my Twitch a little bit, were asking me like, is there an audio version, because I'm driving and I like what you guys are doing and I would like to listen to it while I'm driving.
Yeah.
And I don't want people watching it while they're driving and then oh, I caused you an accident, I'm sorry.
Right.
That would suck.
No, I understand. So let us know in the comments down below. There's a good site for us to upload some stuff. That would be great.
And if there's an app on Android and
That's actually
Apple.
used by a lot of people, not just, some one-off fucking thing, like some weird podcast software that nobody uses. Give me something that actually is community-driven. That would be great. All right, so we'll go with Joel.
Do we want to? Do we just want to mix it all in one? Because they all kind of fit in one bracket. The whole AMD stuff, they kind of just fit.
Yeah, I was just gonna start off with the GPU, and then I was gonna jump over to the.
Okay.
I have both articles right here.
Oh, okay, cool.
So we got.
See, Brimstone's got me. He's got it covered. You see this? Amazing.
All right, so we have the RX 3000 3080 XT. Now, I don't know how I feel about this, man.
And the Vega 20. Oh my, they're really going Vega 20. I don't understand the Vega 20. Like, I don't know. Is that a Vega 5? Is that what they're calling it? The Vega 5? 4 gigs of. Okay, I have a question. Why 4 gigs, guys? Come on.
All for
2019,
bandwidth,
4 gigs. Come on.
But the memory capacity is 16 gigabytes. Fucking gotta be kidding me.
Yeah, 4 gigs on a card with and they're not even using HBM2. They're using HBM1.
Right.
Ouch. And it better be cheap in price, though. That's the problem. It better be cheap in price if they're gonna go that way.
When I was watching UFD Tech, he's saying that what he looks like the theory is the 3080 XT is going to be along the lines of a 10% better Radeon 7. So I don't know.
I disagree with that in a way because it's a new architecture. I think it's going to remotely. AMD is uncharted water for them right now because they've been failing and can't keep up with what NVIDIA is doing. What I want to see, and this is my thing with their graphics cards, I want to see good price. I want their card to come in at 400. 400. Not 700, not 800, not 900. I want it at 400 for the starting. And then I want this Vega II or whatever that's coming with 4 gigs. They're saying 209. Okay, so 209 rumored price. That is good to me. $499 for the 390 XT, which is I'm assuming that's their equivalent to a 2080 Ti. I'm assuming what they're calling the XT2. That's a good price. 430 is a good price for the 390, and the 380 XT. Okay. I like the price skew. If that's the way they're gonna go, it's.
Well, this is all theory, right? Like this is supposed to be a theory type thing.
Yeah.
I personally I'm excited for the new AMD stuff.
For how many cards do you think?
I'm always excited for new AMD stuff, regardless if it's like what everybody thinks it is or if it's not. Like, even if it comes out shitty, like they've always managed to like patch shit to no end to bring it up to snuff and catch up to people over time. So I'm not really worried about it for the long term, because long term it seems like you're getting a better value per dollar versus where like the RTX cards, by the time they get to their point when they start aging like fine wine, they've already got like 6 new additions out of the same card.
Well, I'm gonna say this. So, how many cards do you think they're gonna release at launch? How many cards? We're gonna make a prediction.
I would say 2. I would say.
I think they're gonna do 2, and they're gonna kind of do like what Nvidia does, where they release 2 and then they release another 2 later down the road that are the cheaper end of the high end. And I think.
And you look at this though. Look at this chart the way they have it with the GeForce RTX 2080 Ti is at 104 frames, right? That's the orange. It's the highest on 1080p gaming. 1080p gaming on a Vega 64 is 60, which means our card is around like the 53, 54 mark.
Yeah.
That's not. I mean, I would rather buy the 64 than the 2080 Ti. You know what I mean? For that price difference. Look at that price. I mean, the price difference alone between these two cards. Versus performance is so fucking astronomically different and high. Like, it's almost not, there's like almost no point in supporting NVIDIA anymore. Like, the way they handle their shit, like, it's like no fucking, like, why bother? Why bother?
Well, I have a prediction, and me and you were talking about this before we did the show. I personally think they're gonna have the 2 console events. PlayStation's gonna do theirs before E3 because they said they were pulling out. And I think we're gonna have an official Navi release when Sony does their thing and Microsoft does. As far as consoles go, I think that's how it's gonna go first. Then we're gonna have the PC gaming event because it's sponsored by AMD.
Yeah.
So Lisa Sue's gonna get on stage and announce Navi completely. Now for me, Navi has to blow my pants off. It has to kick the shit out of a Vega 56 for me to go, okay, I'll trade up. It has to be worth my while at the price. Now, if they can get that price right with their major card, if it comes in at $450, their mega card, that's tempting. That's very tempting to me. With HBM3 on it. Now, they could throw us a swerve and it could be GDR6. Never know. But AMD's invested so much money and time into HBM.
You know what, though? But that's the thing, though. Like, GDDR6 worked out so good for NVIDIA. That 1660 Ti is no slouch. Like, that's actually a good card. I mean, we saw the clocks versus the cards we have now, and they were priced similarly at one point. Like, dude, like that little 1660 Ti is a scooter, dude. Like, it does some really good shit with GDDR6. So I would like to see that too. Honestly, I would like to see what AMD could do with GDDR6.
Now, my thing is, I know they invested so much into HBM2. I know they're going to invest so much into HBM3 going forward. 7-nanometer process for everything. Here's my thing. Here's my thing. It's going to be great for the consumer because 64s are going to go down in price.
Oh yeah.
And Vega 56 is going to go down in price. The 480 is going to go. I mean, the 580, the 590, all going to go down in price. They're going to go about $30. But I say $100 to a $30. And it's gonna be interesting this summer. I'm saying it's gonna be very interesting how AMD make. I'm rooting for AMD because I like a good. I agree with Timmy Joe PCs. I agree with Tim because the reason I'm with AMD because I like a good underdog. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely.
I want to see them succeed, and then I'm fascinated what Intel's going to do in response to all of what's going on when they enter in the graphics. It's going to get good the next 5 years. So just get your seatbelts on and take a ride because you're going to be on a ride for a while when it comes to PC stuff.
And their older cards, like NVIDIA's older cards, hardly ever go down in price permanently, where like AMD is always scaling down during release. So where like the 7s just finally started getting back in stock and people can buy them now, I think you're going to see a price cut in the 7 a lot sooner than you think. I think more people are going to start buying Radeon 7s again.
Yeah, and I think Radeon is going to drop out. I think they're going to drop that $100.
Oh, easily. I wouldn't be surprised if they dropped it $200 just so they could clear stock to do their next gen launch cycles.
Yeah. Speaking of AMD, this article that Brimstone's got up here, it's talking about X370, B370, I think it's B350 and 450 motherboards, and how Gen 3 here, when they come out with the new processors at the same time as Navi, which is going to be cool because AMD's got pretty much a wrap on the CPU side of it. Intel is scrambling to tread water right now. They're trying.
There's a lot of CPUs coming out of fucking AMD, dude. Like, Jesus. I think they're trying to flood the market, dude.
Well, so what you're seeing on the screen here is what Brimstone's scrolling over is all the motherboards that will be compatible with. And this is, I believe this is only Asus right now. You're not seeing everything from all the other companies.
Only. Yeah.
Asus did announce what they're supporting going forward with a BIOS update. I'm assuming Gigabyte will be next and MSI going yada, yada, yada.
Yeah.
It's cool how AM4, unlike Intel, I'm not making fun of Intel. Intel, they're notorious for this. They just come out with a new chipset. Oh, buy a new motherboard. AMD's more on the side of we're going to continue to support you. But it's going to be on a case-by-case basis, what it looks like for motherboard. Now, let's keep my fingers crossed. I hope my motherboards are supported on the list. So, my streaming PC, when they do come out with a new processor, maybe maybe I may jump to a new processor
New
because more
Ryzen?
cores has always been
New Ryzen.
new Ryzen. Maybe
We
if
saw
the
that.
prices are good.
We saw the Rage 2 system requirements the other night with the new Ryzen Threadripper 3000. Come on now. God.
What up, mixing mold?
Mixing
mode?
mole.
Sorry,
What's up, Junkie? What's going on, buddy?
I'm blind. I'm sorry. I butchered your name. I am so sorry.
But he's right, though. They are on a two-front war. They're going for the CPU good jugular and the GPU jugular.
Well, now I will say this, and I was telling you earlier, FreeSync, adapted sync that AMD started, it has killed G-Sync. G-Sync is on life support at the
Well, yeah, those
At this point.
So what Nvidia was telling people for the longest time is those G-Sync capsules that are in the monitors cost like $600 a piece. And each of those capsules that are installed is reason why you see monitors for like $2,000. I'm sorry. It's just not worth it.
Well, let's go back to a time and place. Remember HD DVD versus Blu-ray? Who won that war? It's kind of like that kind of war now at this point with monitor technology.
Yeah.
And you're seeing Intel go with a adaptive sync AK FreeSync, and you're also seeing now Nvidia going that way because they realized the whole market share is over at FreeSync. And you got TV manufacturers even going,
Dude,
hey guys, we're coming out with
TCLs?
TV monitors.
Have you seen the sales at Walmart lately for TCL TVs, dude?
Yeah.
They have a 75-inch now for like $400. And it's a 4K. It supports HDR10 and FreeSync. I'm like, God dang, man. Like $400 TCL? Damn, they are coming out of the ballpark swinging.
So going forward this year, Samsung, I believe LG, what is it? LG, Samsung, Vizio, TCL are all coming out with FreeSync TVs. And even Sony's even talking about doing FreeSync TVs with their, because PS5 is going to support FreeSync. And NVIDIA's on live support when it comes to this. I think what they're going to do is cut the cord and discontinue G-Sync. They have to.
I just want to say this. For all those of you out there that are like getting into the TVs now, I've noticed some of my community members have been getting new TVs lately. Try your best to stay away from OLEDs that are marked up to over $2,000, because OLEDs, they are nice and all, but they have burn-in problems. They've been having burn-in problems and dimming issues for the last like 4 years, I think now.
Let's read Metro's comment. Lols, I was saying the other day on Twitch about NVIDIA monitors.
Oh.
I think you were, buddy. I think you were.
Yeah, stay away from the OLEDs. They have burn-in issues. Linus covered it pretty good. A lot of phones nowadays, like, and they're in their second year, like the Samsung, like the second, what was it, the eights and nines right now. Some people are experiencing dimming. And that's because of OLED. OLED is a very temporary sharpness. You know what I mean? It's not something that's gonna last you forever. Like, try to stick to QLEDs.
Metro, come join us, buddy,
really
if you like.
Quad LEDs.
Come join us, Metro, if you like.
Yeah, quad LEDs are where it's at. Quantum dot technology from Samsung, LG, TCL. All those quantum dots are worth it. Do not go with OLEDs, because OLEDs, oh, dude, a lot of issues. And it's not even worth the money. You can get a nice QLED from Samsung and LG right now for like $5.99 at Target right now for a QLED.
Sorry for interrupting you there. Anybody's welcome to join us. That's in the chat. If you want to come chat it up with us about AMD stuff, feel free. I'll give you a Discord link. Metro, if you're around, buddy, come join us.
He just woke up.
Oh.
He literally just came down and woke up. I didn't even know that was him behind me.
We're having so much of a good time talking about AMD stuff. The processors are going to be interesting. The motherboard support's going to be interesting.
Dude, the processors are supposed to be the more budget oriented too. So like, it's technically, this is a new generation of i5's equivalent. So we're going to see some really interesting things. This is going to be a good time to buy a very cheap streaming PC.
Well, I'm going to tell you guys this. If you guys are looking like right now, so when third generation drops,
right,
it's going to, all the other, right, they're clearing out Ryzen right now. Like, it's a good time to buy.
Yeah, it's like what we were saying
right
last
now.
night. Yeah, the Amazon sales we were looking at last night were pretty insane. I couldn't believe the amount of shit that like AMD is willing to sacrifice just to get them pushed. Their market share has actually increased. Did you I think UFD covered it the other day in Hot News. Like, their market share is actually gaining traction. And people were saying for like the last 3 years now that AMD was never going to gain anything on the market, like ever.
Well, AMD owns the market at the moment for CPUs, and
Do
if
they
you're
really?
looking at, yes, they do. They were I was watching UFD Tech. He was talking about Gamers Nexus. They own the market. The way the Fluxure is and the algorithms, literally what he was talking about his community, the people that watch his video, what they're buying through their Amazon link, and they noticed that AMD has been the thing. Also, guys, if you guys are looking for a really good deal right now on Ryzen processors, the 2700 non-X version is almost $200. That is a steal. If you guys are going Ryzen right now. Now, Threadripper. If you're going Threadripper right now, the 1950X right now, $375. $375 right now. 16 cores. I believe that's 24 threads, I think.
Hey,
I think.
Is CPU boss still a thing?
CPU boss? Yes,
Yeah.
it is.
Let's go check that out real quick. All right, CPU boss. All right. I know people have told me that this isn't exactly an accurate site to go to because CPU boss is pretty biased, but we'll see. We're gonna go i7. Wow, here you go, 4770K versus Ryzen 1600X. Why not? 1500X. Compare. Boom. So it's actually pretty much neck and neck with mine.
Yeah.
Slightly better than mine.
Where Intel actually beats AMD is in the single core performance because of the whatever ring process they're doing on their processor.
So it looks like, hey, so my CPU isn't completely shit and out of date yet. All right, I'm doing good. But they're kicking my ass on the L3 and L2 cache, but I don't give a fuck about that. I mean, it is what it is. Like I don't care. But overall performance though, that's not bad. I was worried about that actually. I was like,
Metro is saying i7s and i9s are the way to go. Yeah, not really.
Yes,
they're heat wagons.
Yes and no. Like it depends on what you buy. Not every.
It depends on what your
i7
needs are.
Yeah, not every i7 is going to be good, and not every Ryzen is going to be good. This is why it's really important people research what they get first before anything. Now I'm going to check this out on Threadripper. Let's see, 4770K Ryzen 19. Oh man. Okay, I guess I have to scroll down. Where my Threadripper at?
I will say this, mixing. I will say one thing to your comment there. People are buying i5s, kind of. Oh, I got you, Metro. What I was saying is, to mixing there. People are buying the i5. What is it? The 9600F. Because it's kind of comparable to the 2600 that I have. But if you're a streamer and a gamer, you want to go more of the 2600 direction as far as Ryzen goes because it's meant for streaming. Jesus, what are you comparing it to? Jesus.
Dude, that was to the 1700X Pro version.
I didn't even know they had a Pro version.
Neither did I until now. But my single core performance still outperforms it. Pass mark, it beats mine by over half or just under half. I mean, that's pretty good. Of course.
Well, the diminishing return anymore with CPUs is like this. I mean, Moore's law.
Dude, I fucking bought my shit at the right time. That's all I gotta say. I thought for sure my shit would have been outdated by now, but no, it's actually still quite up there.
Well, I'll say this in the podcast. I'll say, right now 1700, 2600, 2700, 2700X is like great deals. Even the 1950X Ryzen is a hell of a deal. Threadripper, hell of a deal, and you buy a motherboard on top, the steal. Like holy crap! If you're looking for cores and threads, that's where it's at. Hey, have you seen the? Look up the price of a 1950X. It's amazing.
All right.
How much longer do I got on my i7 4790K? You probably got another 2-3 years on that.
Dude, like I just did our clocks for 4770 and you're like right there next to me on mine. So we have some ways, dude. We are actually outperforming on a lot of things with Ryzen right now, except for the cache memory is higher than ours, but that's not really that big of a deal. What was it? Ryzen Threadripper.
1950X. 1950X.
1950X. Fuck that. Let's go with a fucking 2950X.
Oh my god.
No,
this man go for broke.
All right, AMD Ryzen Threadripper 1950X 544.
That's not bad.
2920X 599, marked down from 649. Ooh, that is a sexy beast though. Jesus.
And there's the Ryzen 2700X for 291. That's not bad.
That is a sexy ass box. I would buy that just for the box. I would buy that shit for the box and have it on display on top of Computron.
I'm taking the processor out.
What is that? What is that? I'm gonna be like, that is God in a box.
Brimstone's like, forget taking the processor. I bought that just for the display of it.
Pretty much. But you know what though? That i9 9900K for 494 isn't bad either though, dude. Like that really is. You know what? Let's do that. i7. Let's go back to the CPU boss. Let's see. We're gonna do 4770K, and then i9. Really?
Levon Kaysen, have any of you guys tried a laptop with an eGPU? I haven't particularly. But I can tell you I have a friend that has a Mac laptop with a 580 RX 580 in it. The GPU, the whatever Gigabyte does, and I've heard nothing but good things as far as running graphics. Yeah, with Thunderbolt 3, yeah. He runs it off of a laptop, MacBook, and it runs pretty decent for video editing and whatnot. Brimstone's the mastermind here. He's like upgrades maybe.
I'm just curious, dude. Like, have you ever been curious, like just to see like where your current setup aligns with like the top of the line?
No. Well, I don't do that because then if I see it, then I want to buy it. But it kicks my shit in the dirt, and then I'm like, then I feel like I have to spend.
All right, this is for Metro. i7 4790K versus 6700K. Let's see what that's like. Let's see, shall we? 8.2 and 8.8. Dude, your 4790K is still pretty... Oh, wow. So your 4790K is actually higher rated than a 6700K. What the fuck? Okay,
the 6700... The 6700K wasn't that great.
Yeah, I see why. Yeah. Dude, our processors are still fucking banking. We bought pretty much the best of the generation until Intel's new generation comes out. Oh, look, GPU boss. What do you know? Huh?
What do you know? SSD boss. Look at that. Let's go over here.
There, Radeon RX Vega 56 versus... Let's just go with a GTX 2080. No. Come on now. I hate how it wants to keep it to its levels. NVIDIA. Oh, okay. I think that's a little bit better. 1080. Oh, 2070 would be fine too. Let's check this out. No, nothing. Fuck. Okay.
There it is, 2070. There it is.
Consider GPU is not aware of any important advantages. This is
because they haven't updated their site.
Yeah, this is why people think that GPU boss is so damn biased. Is because like you try to do this and they do not want to post it. Damn. Anyways. Levon, what's going on? Thunderbolt 3? Thunderbolt 3, like...
He's talking eGPU, like the housing that you get for your laptops.
Yeah.
and you
He's
put a
talking about like
GPU
the
in.
Nook and stuff, right? That Intel brought out.
No, he's talking about the Mac, like a MacBook. You know how they sold the eGPU off to the side with the 580 installed into it
Yeah.
with the Thunderbolt. A friend of mine has that kind of setup. It's okay. It's decent.
Yeah, it's not a bad little thing. I've seen some tech. reviews on
Metro,
it.
we're in Twisted Nation, buddy. You're already in it. You can come join us, man. Just hop down in the live stream, room 1.
I love how they're like Radeon 3080 XT will challenge the RTX 2070 at 339. Fuck yeah! Well, 339 is a damn good price.
I told you they're gonna announce the consoles first with Navi on them, then they're gonna go with PC event and bam. You know what I mean? I just think AMD is gonna make a comeback somewhat. They have to.
Yeah.
They need to blow our pants off at this point.
Well, man, we are coming up on the hour and 18-minute mark.
Oh, so it's a good time for me to say that I am the anti-Christmas stuff.
Oh my God, he's awake.
I will also say this in stream. I will say this. We did talk about a lot of things. We did talk about more Epic Games stuff.
Of course we did.
Because we can't help ourselves. We gotta talk about that Epic Games, you know. Them
Rev,
loving
you know how I
Microsoft
feel
right
about
now.
that, though.
What was that, Lennon?
Rev, you know how I feel about that.
Feel about what? Oh yeah, but like Blue thought we were thinking something nice about it when we weren't. We were just talking about it. Blue flips out in our comment section.
I will say this. I took a neutral standpoint on it. I said, I understand big business. I know what they're doing. They have to get eyes on the product. So they're going to buy out developers. They're going to do it more oftenly, and you're going to watch Valve do it. And it's going to be a war between two platforms.
I wasn't here for the other podcast, so I think you guys mentioned it. But like my take on the whole thing is, it's not the fact that it is big business, because stuff like this happens, right? You buy a company, you take all their assets with them, right? It's the fact that they waited 3 years for a game that already has a community, and now telling the community you have to pack up and move on our platform that isn't nowhere near
That's been
as
canceled.
as
That's
optimized.
They're not doing it. It's already been
Oh,
canceled.
they broke the partnership.
No, they're still acquiring the studio, but they're not forcing the studio's community to move from Steam over to Epic.
Yeah, because that's just trying to kill the community. That was why I was so like.
Well,
They're
enraged.
not
canceled
doing
it.
it.
They're not doing it, and they also stated until they have a good system in place. They said they're not moving anything over. They're going to keep it on Steam. Everybody, you're safe. They came out. You're safe.
Yeah, but they said until, so is that
Until they get a better system in place, until they figure out what the community wants them to do. They did listen. They did say until they get things in place that pleases the community, then they'll make the next steps. They're listening to the community. They did state that, and they also
they should have like, I mean, yeah, still buy say Onyx, but they should have asked, because if this was a thing we wanted, instead of outright going, yeah, we're moving it over, because then the backlash would have been avoided if they would have asked. What would you want? What would you want as a community? Would you like to?
Well, I mean, just think the backlash was loud enough to make them do that. That's a good thing. That shows that they're willing to listen.
Yeah,
and
but
they're also in love with Microsoft at the moment, so we don't know what's going to happen going forward with that either. So Tom Sweeney did say, the Epic Games CEO did say he's in love with Microsoft, and I said in this podcast, I did say I wouldn't be surprised if they swerve us all and turn around and go, oh, that Halo, by the way, guys,
Epic
we
only.
paid
I'm gonna be
Microsoft
so
a lot of
mad.
money.
I'm gonna be so mad. No, Halo needs to go on everything.
Well,
Halo
the
is not
next
meant to be-
Microsoft games are all going to Epic, supposedly. That's what you were reading, right,
No.
Brimstone?
No, it's so like the Microsoft games that they helped develop with their engine. they're looking at putting also on the Epic Store. It's not gonna be an exclusive thing.
Oh,
Okay, good. That's how it should be.
AMD Ryzen 7 1700X processor, $172.
I had to make the noise just for you.
That's a good deal.
Hey guys, look down there. The 1600 at 149. If you're trying to get into PC gaming, right there.
148 with an Asus Prime X370 Pro AMD Ryzen board.
Look at that graphics
USB
card bundle at
3.1.
380,
Where's that at?
right up above it.
Oh, when I was up top more.
No, one up from you, where your mouse is. One up.
This.
No, keep going up. You'll see it. No, keep going down.
I think he's
I think
talking about the graphics card and the Ryzen, maybe.
Yeah, that's the one I'm talking about. Yeah.
AMD Ryzen.
The armor and the graphics card.
Yeah, it's below. It's
okay. I'm just blind.
That's a good deal.
Yeah, it is.
AMD's got you there.
Yes, they do.
So, Metro, we were talking about the whole summer of AMD. What's your take on it?
I mean, I won't be able to afford any of it because I got bills to pay. But if I didn't have bills to pay, I'd probably jump on Ryzen and Navi at the same time, and then get into a motherboard. That's how I feel about it. I like what they're coming out with, honestly.
Right. It's pretty good.
Like I was telling y'all before, like what months before, I've just been trying to get away from Nvidia like altogether, like just to see what it's like on Team Red. So, and I mean, I love the graphics card that I got now, even though it's a fixed up card, but it doesn't matter because it does what it has to do.
This CPU is so sexy, dude.
They're dropping. AMD's dropping their prices. They're just trying to get more
Threadripper,
people
baby.
on the Prokin. Yeah.
This is all about the Threadripper life in this house. Trust me.
319. Look at that. 12 cores, 24 threads. Look at that. For
But
that price, you can't beat that.
You could also get it with a motherboard, and it bumps it up to 1950. Oh, it's unavailable, but still, that's a sexy ass motherboard. That is a beast of a motherboard. Holy shit! There you go, Metro RGB life. I know you're about that RGB life.
Now,
gang life.
Now, my question is,
Right.
going forward, is Apple going to do something I've not seen them before? Go Ryzen finally.
No,
That
Bring
would
out
be-
their
they're-
very first laptop.
They said that they were just gonna do AMD for their computers, and they're gonna do Bionic chips for their phones, right?
They stated that they're looking at different options after the whole throttling issue they had with their MacBook. They're looking into other avenues now because they said
What did they use before?
Intel, they're using the 9900 and they said it's just over throttling. They've tried to bring out updates to fix. Now they're saying Tim Cook came out and said that they're looking at other avenues. He said it's unacceptable. He said for their design.
I mean, yeah, they want to charge you for an overpriced fucking laptop. I mean, yeah, it's unacceptable.
But here's the thing, like I've seen the Hackintosh's they've been doing with the Threadripper builds, dude. They look fucking sexy with it comes to their performance, dude. Oh my god, their performance with a Threadripper is god tier. Like I don't even think our systems combined could be that fast.
I was thinking about making like a SSD Hackintosh rig. Like just load up Hackintosh on a SSD and just
Dual boot.
dual booting.
I will also say tonight in the most of the articles that we read, I am pretty excited for the OnePlus 7.
am I.
That and that just looks. I don't know if Metro's seen it, but it looks sexy.
I don't think I might have seen it. I might have seen like the little ads on Instagram.
And Metro's not going to like this news. Google is locking down their platform.
Really?
They're locking down Android because of what happened.
Why though?
They announced at their event
Because of
today.
spyware and shit on the App Store, dude. Like they don't fucking do
And-
anything about it.
They admitted after the EU went after them for billions. They said that they're gonna do for the first time. They're Appleizing their platform. They're gonna have a dark mode. They're gonna focus more on security, and they're gonna lock down their platform.
Oh look,
They did say
guys,
that.
an i7 8700K for $359.
Wait, what's dark mode? I mean, like a dark
So-
theme for the store or something?
No, they're coming out with dark mode completely. So with the next iteration of Android, they're gonna have dark mode to where you can actually turn everything dark
That's kind of
and
cool.
get the mode that you want. So all the apps will move over to a dark mode if you choose to have it that way.
Dude, they reduced the price almost like $100 for this case, dude. Remember when we were looking at this the other day? Like the other night?
Yep.
Dude, this is a sexy case.
Oh, that's one of the ones you guys recommended to me, huh?
Oh, the NZXT H500. Yeah, dude, this is a sexy case. We were talking about this the other night when we were looking at computer cases before you got yours. Oh,
Yeah.
I say the other night like it was recent. No, like a couple of months ago. Me and him were like all night just fucking oogling over NZXT cases.
Yeah, that's how you guys sound.
This
Right?
was like $130 at one point.
Yeah, that's how you guys ended up finding my case that I have now. You guys were just googling a bunch of cases.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
mixing. I agree with you with that.
Oh, there was an article I was gonna put up, but I can't find it. I couldn't find it earlier, but oh well, I'll talk about it now. SSDs are so cheap now that they're actually outdoing the mechanical drive. So people are thinking that the Barracudas and shit, the mechanical drives, are gonna be going the way of the floppy disk. That's what they're saying. Like there's an actual,
I
don't believe it either, because I still think there's a lot of value to be had for a
Barracuda's
very low,
cheap as hell, though.
for a very low, yeah, exactly, for a very low end, high capacity mechanical drive. Like you could get an 8 terabyte now for like $100. So
My whole machine runs on Barracuda and then regular SSD.
I'll say this: SSD lifespans, depending on the drive you get, they last as good as like 5 years.
Silicon Power, go with Silicon Power. Just go with the OEM
And-
company that's responsible for A data and everybody else.
And it's funny about that too. Mechanical drives are not going to go the way of the wind. It's too many.
No.
They are offering way too many terabytes for the price. And SSDs haven't come down in price though. Like a 4 terabyte SSD right now is like $1,200.
But you gotta
There's
think
no
about
way.
this as well. Until SSDs can have a long lifespan like an HDD, we're not gonna see HDDs.
Dude, Silicon brought out their own fucking PCI slot. Oh,
Yeah,
Wait,
they did.
what?
yes.
Silicon Power
that is
does.
so sexy, dude. And it comes with their own bracket. Oh.
And then you buy a heat sink for it, and you're golden.
Careful there, Jizz McGee.
Okay, well, I'm pretty much an OEM fanboy. Like I love the OEM companies because they offer you so much more value versus the companies they sell to make their money. I mean, Silicon Power, dude. Like, God, they are. I mean, I told you about them. Look at you. You got one going in your shit.
Yeah, I got like what 500 gigs.
Mm-hmm. They have this is a 256, the same one I bought for my OS for $30, 31, and it's got NAND 256 on it, by the way. Like this is so good, dude.
Can we cover the PlayStation article real quick? It's a quick article, and I think
Okay.
Metro is gonna laugh about this one real
Sure.
quick.
I always laugh at PlayStation, but go on.
All right, I'll read it
I think it's a
if you don't
common
mind,
thing in this
Brimstone.
house. Yeah, go for it.
PS4 State of PlayStation rivaling Nintendo's what do they do? What's the Nintendo Direct? There you go. They're going to be rivaling a Nintendo Direct going forward, and they're going to have part of the PlayStation State of Play. They're going to have the Final Fantasy VII remake reveal Until Dawn
Reveal.
2. Yeah.
They should have came out with a reveal like forever ago, but well, yeah, go.
And then Until Dawn 2 and Medieval release dates and more within the event today actually.
Oh,
No,
fuck.
tomorrow.
Hold on, you know what? I'm stupid. Here, let me just put that up there so they can see it. I didn't even think about it.
Let's see here. Sony has announced the plans to hold a Nintendo Direct style State of Play live stream for PS4 this week. The State of Play presentation will take place on May 9th at 11 p.m. UK time, which is going to probably be 12 midnight our time.
Something like
Probably.
that. Yeah.
Thursday, May 9th, 11 BST time, which I'm assuming is going to be like 12 or 11 hours Pacific. And they're going to announce it'll be a quick show. It'll be around 10 minutes, but we'll get some PlayStation news and updates. We couldn't, and the website says we couldn't share with you.
Really, 12 minutes, really, and they're gonna rival Nintendo when they've done mostly like 30-minute directs. 12 minutes for what? 3 games?
I'm
possibly more.
Honestly, I am only looking forward towards the Final Fantasy VII remake.
Which is probably like 99% of everybody else.
Yeah,
They didn't have to wait for that. If they wanted to, they could have just kept holding out till E3.
dude. I just want to tell everybody a little secret, right? Like, as much as I liked Medieval, the first one on PlayStation 1, it wasn't that good of a fucking game. Like, dude, seriously. Like, have you seen Twitter lately with the PlayStation fanboys lately, Rev? Like, they are fucking
Yes, I
creaming their
have.
pants over this shit, dude. Like, bro, I have the game in my binder in the garage right now. I beat this game. It is not that fucking good. It wasn't
I will
that
also,
good.
I will also say Sony's going like 5 steps backwards when it comes to things like they're pulling out of E3 to do their own event like Samsung. They're doing the whole trying to take on Nintendo, and they still haven't answered about crossplay. They're
See,
still not
they
answering
need
about
it-
the main questions.
They need to answer crossplay, and they need to first understand how Nintendo does their thing before they can even think to even compete with a hype beast like that. Like even Microsoft tried their own thing, but then they decided to make it a little bit different, so no one's gonna judge Microsoft for
You
it.
know what, PlayStation? You want to do what Nintendo does? Do a treehouse-like setup.
Yeah, I would prefer a
Simple,
treehouse where you
simple.
can talk about the games in a longer style.
Nintendo's treehouse thing is one of the biggest that is like E3 for Nintendo fans all over the place. Like as soon as they even talk about treehouse on Twitter, that post blows the fuck up.
Blows up on Twitter. It goes fucking worldwide, like popular worldwide, like
and
trending
they're like
top
usually the
one.
most watched on YouTube on their live event. Like they're like the most viewed fucking channel when that happens. And they
And-
do it more often too. They don't do it just once a year.
And
They
you
do it,
wanna
like,
know
once
They
every
do it like
quarter.
4 years or something like that. Not 4 years, every 4 times a year. I mean,
Yeah,
And you
want
wanna
to
know what-
every quarter.
You want to know what's funny? Oh, it's happening. Okay, all right. You know what I find funny with Sony? There's with all the new consoles and everything. It's funny how Sony's coming out saying we're the ones that are gonna pioneer the Navi, and we're gonna
When-
pioneer when Xbox has been hand in hand with AMD as well. So I
Dude,
don't
AMD,
understand why.
they don't understand. Like PS4 came to the AMD side of things after the fact. When they saw that AMD and Microsoft landed that big old fucking contract that had all the major AAA games on it, like that
They
was
shit their
that was
pants.
because of Microsoft's partnership with AMD that they got those contracts. It wasn't because of Sony. Right?
Yeah,
Sony
they-
benefited from it. No, and that's great. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying they don't deserve it. Like obviously, like anybody more systems that use AMD systems for me, the better, right? But I hate when the fan base doesn't understand how these business practices take place, and they go in and they start making their own parallels, and it's like their fandoms create their own narratives just so that way they could justify what they buy. Like, don't justify what you buy, just fucking enjoy it. Jesus.
And then they go around touting the oh my god, the Sony flag, the Nintendo flag. Like fanboys, no matter what community, I will always like despise them.
Oh yeah,
Remember
same,
when?
same.
They're
Remember
never-
when
they're-
Nintendo stopped
never
doing
learned.
E3 press conferences? Yeah, I remember that. But you know,
But there was
honestly,
a reason. Like
honestly, I don't mind the Nintendo Directs because they don't need to be at E3.
No!
they don't need to be at
E3 is
E3.
becoming
That
a
was the
dumpster
biggest.
fire.
That was the biggest reason is that Nintendo doesn't need to be at E3 when they do their own event that's pre-recorded. It's not like they have like it's not like they had Reggie Fils-Aimé, his body's fucking ready, come up to the stage every year. There was no point in them being there, and like except for like showing off new Mario Odyssey and Smash. That's about it. That's the only reason you
So
do.
there is one thing that I hate about all of these fan bases, and I'll let you. Sorry, Rev. I'll let you continue right for this. To us, or me at least, I'm looking at this as cool new games. They're gonna be fun to play. The fan bases, on the other hand, are like, oh, you're just jealous. You want them on my platform, huh? You want them on your platform now. You're just kind of fucking platform bag. Sorry.
Well, it's
I had
kind
to
of
point
like
out
it's
the
kind
sounds
of
obvious.
like gay tag.
it's
That
kind of
sounds
like the. It sounds like the PC thing, in a lot of ways, with people freaking out about exclusives being on launchers. It's and consoles. I find it was due to money issues. I actually like these companies kind of pulling out of E3 really because E3 is just E3
I think we
is
could
like,
all agree that E3 has been garbage lately.
E3 is garbage, but to mixing like yes and no, it is money issues, but it's not like they're gonna die if they keep doing E3. It's that they can't justify the price of making this big grand setup renting out this space. It's nothing to do with like true financial shit. Like they've got money stored up. They've got so much shit they own here.
Would
that they can
would
sell
you
off.
agree with me, Metro, on this one? Like, it's much easier just to have a video.
Yeah, just
Conference.
direct style conference. Yeah, because then
I
you
like
can
it
say
that
what
way.
You gotta say. You can say what you gotta say. You can make it flashy as you want, which is why I like Nintendo Direct, and I do like the Xbox version of it. Uh, but when Sony's coming out saying, "Oh, we're gonna have a state of play," and they say it's gonna be like 12 minutes, it's like they looked at that Pokemon one that was 7 minutes long and said, "Okay, they're gonna be 7 to 12 minutes." When a like regular direct, because that was a direct mini, the Pokemon one. Regular directs are like 30 minutes, 20 minutes long, and they usually end up
Hi,
like being
Xbox
majority
fans.
like the
Get
big
ready
hype
for the
game, like
Games
Smash.
with Gold
Or
May launch.
whenever Pokemon's finally about to come out, they're gonna hype it up for like 15 minutes straight.
Mixing was saying the first time they went to E3 was due to money issues. Yeah, I agree.
Oh, okay.
I agree. I agree with that. I just like the fact that they're doing kind of like what Google used to do in a way. Before they did the whole big concert halls and whatnot. When they went back to it, I kind of like them just straight to the point, announcing things and getting it out of the way and done. Like, I don't need the big flashy show with all this bloat talk about what this is going to do, what that's. Just give me a price, tell me what the specs are, and get to the point.
And then, like, when it comes to like E3, you gotta wait for nobody's like IGN to sit there and talk about what they think before the actual event even
And
happens.
that's
Like, you're gonna wait
20 to
hours.
30 fucking minutes just for that. And then
Sometimes an hour,
yeah,
depending
and
on
then,
how many
there's
people
like
are covering
an
that.
advertisement space that they have to fulfill with Ubi or somebody, with one of the other gaming companies.
Something
And it's
something
like 2
cringy.
hours almost before the fucking show starts. It's like, Jesus Christ, guys.
It's like, how about we just rip the Band-Aid off, get it over and done, and like, yeah, it bleeds people's money. It's like I feel like for at least a lot of these companies that do go there, they rent a space, it does bleed a lot of money because they're not making the money back of people showing up behind the tickets, because people will be like, "Oh, I'll just watch it on YouTube."
Well,
Which,
what's happening is what you're noticing is what a lot of these companies are pulling out, and they're just doing reveals. They're doing what Samsung and Apple does. Oh, here we're gonna be in Madison Square Garden, and we're
like,
just gonna
either
announce
be
our
there
shit.
or whatever.
Like be there or be square, and we're just gonna literally just announce what we gotta announce.
Yeah, be
E3
there, be square. We'll announce it on YouTube later.
And E3 is kind of going like CES show. CES show is kind of becoming a gutted show because Samsung does their own event, Sony does their own event. They're all just starting to do their own events. Like, at this time and date, we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it like at our little theater room within our campus, and we're just gonna announce it and be done.
Well,
And
here's
I'm happy about that.
Well, here's the
But
thing.
I like
there's
the
more
aesthetic,
value.
though.
There's more value to us just getting a show online, and it's more value to them because they don't have to worry about pushing vending sales, right? That's a big thing here in Nevada and Arizona. Like, the vending sales, like, that's what actually keeps these guys coming back every year. And the more of their vendors that leave and they're not selling their product, they're not making money to hold the events anymore. So I would assume that it's the same way for some of these gaming conferences. Like, a lot of people are just not willing to pay the price for those tickets anymore. Those tickets aren't worth it. If I would have bought into a Blizzard ticket last year, I would have been pissed. If I would have bought into an E3 ticket last year, I would have been pissed. Like, those are hundreds of dollars for 3 days and 3 days of your life that you're never going to get back, to only find out shit that you probably already know because of online leaks.
Leakers, yeah.
Yeah, so, like, what's the point in spending all that money for 3 days when you could just watch it all in one day out at home with your friends online? Like,
So
that's how I look at it.
Blizzard events at the Anaheim Convention Center. So it's local to me. They do the week 2, which I think is worth it because they do the Overwatch League finale, and it's packed. It's worth it because they got so much stuff going on. But I'm not paying $350 or $400 just to go 3 days to sit there and walk around to see the same shit over and over again.
Yep.
And I'm grateful that a lot of these companies are like Sony. I'm grateful they pulled out. Why? Because there's nothing there for them. It's a waste of time. I'd rather AMD, like, I know they do the PC gaming event. I'd rather just them do a live stream on Twitch or something with Lisa Sue in a room and just announce their shit and be done. And tell me what the price is going to be so I know if I want to upgrade or not. And here's some benchmarks and specs and just get to the point. I kind of like when Google would do this back in the day, 2 years ago, before they went back to the convent, doing the whole amphitheater type deals and concert halls, where they just sat down and they just told you what they're releasing, and that was it. That was pretty much about it. They just announced phone specs and what they're doing with their software, and that was it within 30 minutes. And that was it.
Right.
Now they're going back to the whole Google I/O event today, talking about locking down their system and AI and whatnot. It went on for 3.5 hours, and I sat there, and I went, "Can we get to the phone part where I mainly want to see and the OS what they're doing?"
Right.
And they kept talking about AI over and over again. And it's like for 3 hours, I could have just waited for this event to be over and
Right.
just rewinded it through the parts that I wanted to watch.
I agree.
And
Or wait for somebody to timestamp it all for you.
yeah, I mean, to me, you're gonna make your ad revenue and whatnot off of that streaming,
Yeah.
so they're gonna make their money no matter what.
Yeah. Totally.
And that's what I give respect to Nintendo for, is the fact they do these directs and it's to the point.
Yeah.
It's in my face, to the point.
I agree.
And I wish that we would get that more and more with phone manufacturers than like Samsung. For me, Samsung doesn't need to be at a concert hall, and I don't need to watch a 3-hour event. They could stum that down to like 18 minutes
The only
and tell me
thing-
what they're doing.
The only thing that I see these big events actually helping is if not only are they doing massive announcements, but announcements that literally nobody knows about, like big announcements. We're talking game-changing announcements, new engines, new technologies that are coming out for gaming. Like those are the only times that I think they should be doing stuff like that. Stuff that nobody knows about, stuff that people have been sort of hyped about, and there hasn't been anything said about it for years. Like, I want to see stuff like that. It used to be that way. Now it's like, oh, hey guys, look, E3 again this year are announcing all of the same multiplats that came out last year. Like, like what? Why?
What about trying out games at E3? I'll say this, Slavon. They can have mobile trucks like Sony was doing for a while there, where they take it to each town by town and you get to try it out
Dude,
yourself.
Virgin Mobile was doing that for years. They had the fucking their game truck out, and they were letting everybody play the new Halo. They were letting people play Gears. All the new.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, like they had like multiple trucks going around Anaheim, California. They went all the way up to the East Coast. Like Virgin was on a huge promoting spree. Like they were getting paid millions by like all these other vendors to do that for them. So people were being able, like, I guess at one point they were offering people to be able to play Halo 5 before it was even announced at E3. So people were already playing it while everybody in the in-house was like learning about it for the first time.
I will say this too. At E3 this year, I hope these two consoles, three next generation consoles, because we got the Nintendo Switch Pro, and I'm gonna call it next generation because I'm excited. I'm more excited for the Switch Pro. I'm hands down more excited for the Switch.
I don't think I'm gonna need to upgrade it.
Like for me, I'm gonna sit. Me and Metro have gone back and forth. I want an Ethernet port on the dang thing, like in the dock, built in. Please.
Yeah,
I beg of you.
because when you're sitting here and let's say you're far away from your router, the current Wi-Fi chip in there they've even come out and said it that it's not the greatest and they feel bad about it, and that's why they're
They used a
coming out
company
with
called
revisions as fast as they
Marvell.
are.
They used a Marvell chip.
Who the fuck is Marvell? And why does their
Marvell,
product suck so badly?
Because their Wi-Fi cards are made cheap. They are budget friendly. That's why. They didn't use Intel or Qualcomm for their.
Yeah,
for
they
their
should have used
chipset.
Qualcomm. They should have used Qualcomm.
And I will also say this too: E3, if these two other consoles come in at 500 or 600, I'm not buying until they drop.
Well,
That's
we all
expensive.
know. We all know that's gonna happen. 2, Nintendo is gonna be the cheapest of the 3 as always, and 3, the fanboys are gonna hype this shit up. It's like, oh, you're getting a deal for $500 with no game or no pass or no PS Plus or something to go along with it.
That's just they're asking for a high price to people for that. It's like I could put that into my PC and get Ryzen 3 at that point and
Ryzen 3,
literally be happy.
baby.
And a Navi GPU and still be like saving some money. compared to buying games and a console and all and a TV if you decide to go 4K and all that stuff.
Honestly, I think
But-
I think my next biggest purchase, honestly, is just gonna be a camera. I'm not gonna.
Oh
worry
yeah,
about
what
anything.
kind of camera? What
Like
kind
a
of camera are we
Canon
talking?
or a Red?
DSR?
I'm thinking Black Magic.
Ooh. Hype. Can we get a hype in the chat? Yeah.
Black Magic cameras, dude. They're fucking storming Amazon like you wouldn't believe. They're like their #1 seller right now over Canon.
So speaking of upgrades, my next upgrade in my streaming PC, I'm thinking about it, will be most likely it'll be a USB 3.0 4K so I can get the higher refresh rates.
You want the higher refresh rates. He wants all the refresh rates.
Well,
See.
because I want to be able to use my 75 hertz.
See, I'm thinking about
don't
getting
blame
a
you.
camera too, though. Just like Brim, though. I'm thinking about getting a camera too, but I'm also thinking about getting that. I know it's pricey as fuck, but I want that Elgato green screen because, when Brim opens the door, sometimes his green screen will fall over on one of us. It's gonna tip over. So
So guys, if you want
That
a
thing is heavy.
word of advice, sorry for interrupting you. If you want a word of advice, online on Amazon, you can look this up. A Chinese knockoff of a GoPro,
$30.
action cam, $30 action cam. You can stick that up on your monitor and plug it through USB into your computer and have a camera.
Ooh, which one is that? Let me know. I'll buy that tonight because I need to upgrade my Logitech. My Logitech is annoying me.
I'll send you a video on it, and you can find that model.
Yeah, because I used to look into those quite a bit, and I have lost the links where it says you could use it as a webcam. That's the one I want because it actually utilizes the entire refresh rate of the camera, so you'll actually get a true 60 FPS. The only time I get a true 60 FPS out of my Logitech is if I use XSplit because XSplit has that fucking encoder that's amazing. I wish OBS would get that shit. God damn it, OBS.
And I want an announcement. One thing for me, I want an announcement from Logitech. on
Oh
a
God,
new
yes,
wi-
on a new webcam for fuck's sakes.
on a new webcam, and I know they've been working hard to get the latency down on wireless keyboards. I would love them to do an RGB wireless keyboard with great battery life. I would be hands down a combination wireless keyboard and mouse for gaming that they said they've been working hard on it with RGB, and I'd be so happy. I'd be all over that
True.
because Logitech is kings at wireless at the moment when it comes to gaming peripheral.
Peripherals.
Sorry if I butchered. Sorry I butchered
Peripherals.
that.
No, you're fine.
So Levon, I've been seeing people want a PS5 and the next Xbox price to be $500 because they want a very powerful console. I'll say this. I'll say this. If you want powerful and you want to see graphics on your screen like glistening,
Just get a piece.
go get a piece. Just get a PC.
$500 for a console is a waste of time and money.
Can I say this in the stream? Look, you can go out on eBay right now for $200 or a little bit more than that, and just get yourself a Dell Omniplex with like a 4th gen Intel processor, and just slap a 580 or a 590 in that, and you'd be set.
Yeah,
And there you go,
ECC
next
memory is really
generation.
cheap too. ECC RAM will actually work well for gaming.
Yep.
See, I just hate that the fanboys don't understand that, like, yeah, console gaming is okay. It's not the greatest in terms of like graphics and performance and all that shit. Like, yeah, stuff's more optimized because they only have to make it for like 1, 2, or 3 platforms, so it's gonna be more optimized. But like, if you're looking for all these graphics, all this other shit, just build a PC. You're never gonna get it out of a console, because by the time that the consoles get what you want, the new shit that you want is gonna be on PC for the next 5 years.
Well, I'll say this. I agree with you there, and I will also say this. I'm so excited to see. I'm interested to see what Nintendo's gonna do with the screen size. I'm fascinated to know, are they gonna go glass finally? And
I'm hoping
maybe
they would go glass.
maybe an OLED
because-
screen, maybe.
God,
Pushing
no,
my luck.
Not an OLED.
Not an OLED. I don't mind.
Not an
I don't
not an
mind.
OLED.
I don't mind
I'm
a
saying,
regular.
you know what I?
Yeah.
That's what I meant. Sorry. QLED.
I don't mind like a
sorry for
regular
getting the two
panel or a
confused.
QLED. But
Well, like the phone, like a 2560 by 1080. You know what I
IPS,
mean,
yeah.
Metro.
IPS.
You
would be
know,
good, too.
I mean, Brimstone. What I was talking about with if they could take that technology that's in the OnePlus and bring it to the Switch, kind of like, screen wise with some
Yeah.
HDR on it, dude, that would be a beautiful thing.
Well, you guys, we're coming up on, let's see. Holy shit. We're coming up on almost 2 hours. And we got some pretty good amount of viewers tonight, so that's pretty cool. So thank you guys for coming by. You guys are fucking rocking it, man. You guys are killing it with the thumbs up. You guys are killing it with the shares. I just want to say thank you. You guys are fucking awesome. Blue, I love you. No homo. Or all
Baby,
the homos.
come back.
Or all the homos, give or take, whatever.
Baby, come back to me.
And we gotta give XP the love that he deserves, because my dude be working hard. He got some hardware upgrades. He got the new Tascam mobile microphone / digital recorder, so I'm looking forward to him doing some shit with that. He's always done it through traditional microphones and stuff, so I mean, this is a big step for him.
Hopefully this video did not get a third-party strike for me singing that.
No, I shouldn't. He's going to be doing some live gigs, and he wants to record that with this. So when he does his live gigs, he's going to be dropping them on his channel here, and then we'll be able to promote that as well. So this is Teardrops of Acid Rain. I never heard this one, I don't think. Let's find out. Ooh, it's already bass heavy. Typical XP love. Thank you, Metroxys and Rev, for coming on. Metroxys coming in after he just wakes up out of bed. Typical female beauty rest.
You leave me alone.
When is he not sleeping?
Right?
We should all take bets how long he sleeps.
Only 20 hours, that's all.
You leave me alone. I'm dead inside.
So as always, everybody that's been watching tonight, make sure you thumbs up, like everything that you see. If you do, great. If you don't, thumbs down. Share it across Twitter and all your social medias. Let this podcast be known. Let's get some new subs in here, get some new blood. Let it get circulating around here again. I know it's been a while since we've been doing these shows. I'm hoping to do this.
Can I say something?
No.
Hit the pow ka-chow and the thumbs up. And also, guys, hit that bell icon so you can get notified when we go live. Because we're going to be in your face. And we're going to be fantastically. Okay, all right.
I'm gonna, you know what? I know some voice actors. I'm gonna see if they want to do a voice for our show, where it's like, "Welcome to the Game Talk Podcast every Sunday."
Metamorphosis Power Rangers. Captain Planet, he's the hero.
And that's where I'm gonna drown everybody else out with the music. XP38, Teardrops of Acid Rain.